Rock the body, body, rock the body, body, rock the body, body, rock the body, body.
Rock the body, body, 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 rock the body, body. One time if you rock it for Christ, let's get it. Two times if you gave him your life, stay with it. Three times if he made you right, admit it. 1, 2, 3. Hey yo, for the culture I'm beast mode, Martian. When the Seahawks gather and see dark matters, I put on the squeeze like I'm a python. Take it easy, I'm walking with Jesus. Yeah, I go pro just to frame the picture. With a flip to spark your soul, watch the flame that hits you. Watching it fade your spirit and ingrain the scripture. So every time you hear it, it's a shameless picture. For the culture I blaze trails like baby game. Some won't get it until it's finished and passing blame. Got a passion for it, the passion for it. The real rock nation if you asking for it. Yeah, I am done with the heart of a lion, serving of God to ignite the alliance. Get your plate full, descendant of Zion, standing defiant with a God flow, knocking out giants, and I'm grateful. Rock the body, body, 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 rock the body, body. 1, 2, 3.
You can do anything with God on your side. It's proven. All you gotta do is pray and believe. He is only one call away. Only one call away. Yo, when you're rocking with the best, he'll always be right there. Rock the body, body, 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 rock the body, body. One time if you rocking with Christ, two time if he gave you life, three time if he made you right.
1, 2, 3. I ain't gotta bust shots for a spot. I walk with Christ. I'm General Electric. Dog, that means I talk with light. Talk to rock like I'm girly when I ran these bars straight after Chuco. Born in the land of the stars. Hey, equipped with a word, with a drip that lifts you from earth. Then baptize your soul with the gift and the curse. And leave you with that blueprint to implement what you learn. With your eyes wide open like you speak from the third. I'm piecing them up like I'm Millie and Drake. Brothers get serious when they find out what's really at stake. Brothers get delirious when I find out they really a fake. Challenging my faith as if they the ones that take from the plate. And scream out, the warriors did it to plan to escape. But I stand with my chest out, man of God in your face. When I talk that talk, I walk that walk. No camouflage in my verbiage when I rock the park. Yeah.
You can do anything with God on your side. It's proven. All you gotta do is pray and believe. He is only one call away. Only one call away. Yo, when you're rocking with the best, he'll always be right there. Right there. Oh, have no fear. Don't. One time you rocking with Christ. Yeah, two times if he gave you life. Three times if he made you right.
1, 2, 3.
He's within you. You gotta know that you're protected, covered in His love. He's
Rock the body, body, rock
within you.
the body, body,
You
rock the body, body,
gotta know that you're protected, covered in His love.
Welcome to the new Total Faith Show. I am your host. You know me. I'm getting those digits. Gene Groove Allen. And this is the place where everybody has a story and we get to go on that journey with them. Now, you saw that video, Hot Like Fire. My guest is the artist of this video. He's a creator. He is multi-platinum producer. He's a Stellar Award winner. He's a Billboard chart topper. I'm just gonna put it in one word. The man is great. My brother, Aulsondro Hamilton, also known Emcee N.I.C.E. What's going on, bro?
Hey man, what's going down? I appreciate the beautiful intro. That was nice.
Well, man, dude, you did the work. You are ever changing, and so for me, when I hear about a brother who's done so many things that you've done, I don't know if we even got enough time to talk about it. So let's start it off. Tell me, when did you first fall in love with hip hop?
Man, I fell in love with hip hop a long time ago, in the early 90s, and it was like Rakim, KRS-One, Cool G Rap, LL, like all of those guys was, and I just believe that's when hip hop was golden. because you had real lyrics, lyrics, not that, the lyrics of today aren't up to par. It's just that you had a real variety then. Now it's like you have to really search out. But yeah, then you had a variety and all their skill sets was different. There was no real copycats. So, it was just like you can really enjoy, hip hop at that point with the rhyme scheming and rhyme styling and people dress different, talk different. So it was dope.
How did you get your first break? That, because you did so many different things. How did you find your first break?
Well, I started out as a Christian hip hop artist, believe it or not. But when I started, the church wasn't checking for Christian rap. They always thought it was like, oh, that's of the devil. You know what I'm saying? You're doing the devil's music. I'm like, yeah, but I'm talking about Jesus and God. How am I doing the devil's work?
You understand that?
Yeah, right. So, but at the end of the day, ultimately, I ended up, coming out of that. I was in Bible college and I left Bible college just to pursue, because I was still talented. I was still a creative guy, but it's just I needed to get that off. And so I ended up having one of my homeboys back in the day named Sammy Ortiz. We went to a mall in Riverside, California, and I met the founders of a group called A Lighter Shade of Brown. Right, we're the first Latin rap group I'm Puerto Rican and Black, so it's Aulsondro, right? So we were the first Latin rap group in the history of rap music to crack the BILLBOARD charts. You know what I mean? Back in it was in '94, I believe, '94.
Nice.
And
what was that record? What was that record that cracked?
Well, the record that cracked was they did a Sunday Afternoon, and then Hey DJ came out. Hey DJ, won't you play that song? Keep them dancing all night. So then that record came out, and then If You Want to Groove, that featured myself, came out and cracked the doors open, for Latin rap. And so, in that transition, so we did that for a little minute. I had a solo project, and then we ultimately in the late 90s put out a greatest hits record, but then I went into production. You know what I mean? So
and I saw that, man. You really did, what I saw is that your discography, I mean, you have changed from you've done, kind of like a rock pop scenario. You've produced, you've done a cartoon kind of scenario with your talents. I want to talk about some of the people that you've been able to touch and produce, because I see the back of your wall, man, and BILLBOARD Gospel, Nas, Tupac, those are some huge names. So we're getting ready to go to break. When we come back, I want you to tell me about, I'm just naming artists, one of the artists, and then you're going to kind of tell me how you feel about it, what happened, what your mindset was, and definitely talk about where, you think that rap is heading now, because that's important. And just to get a little bit about you, I want to thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. Don't you move. Listen, this guy right here is the truth. And remember, if you want to see a little bit more of me, go to www.totalfaithnetwork.com. You can see how we're moving, how we're shaking, how we're grooving. We'll be right back.
Are you behind on your mortgage? Is the bank threatening to take your home? Are you considering trying to get a loan modification on your own? Did you know that less than 5% of people who tried on their own actually got a modification? At the Mortgage Modification Helpline, we know the rules and regulations banks don't want you to know about, and we've helped thousands of people stay in their homes. So call the Mortgage Modification Helpline today.
Please call 800-650-2047.
With funeral costs averaging over $10,000 and expected to be over $30,000 in 20 years, how can seniors pay for their funeral and not leave this debt to their families? Senior Life Insurance Company offers state-regulated life insurance plans to help cover your final expenses. Up to $30,000 in tax-free money. With plans around $12 a month, covering your final expenses has never been more affordable. This low rate is also locked in for life, and your coverage amount will never decrease. You also cannot be turned down for any health reason. You could qualify for full coverage from day one even if you have many common health issues like diabetes, high blood pressure, or arthritis. This is all done with no medical exam. Senior Life is now enrolling people for this important benefit, so call the number for free information. Don't miss this opportunity for free information on your available benefits. Make the free call now.
We are back with the phenomenal, the great Emcee N.I.C.E. This man right here is pivotal in putting a lot of good music out there that we listen to every day. You know, N.I.C.E, talk to us about, you know, I saw you work with Nas, you work with Pac, you know, tell me about those scenarios. Let our audience know, bring us in that studio with you.
Yeah, it was the Tupac and Nas is the same record except different versions. So the record is called Thug's Mansion, the acoustic version, right? And so, and which was a way different record than any other record that Pac was able to put out, and I was very instrumental in making that happen, right? And so I was in a group at the time called Kansas Cali, and there was a producer there, Pit Boss, who was a phenomenal producer that was like that guy. You know, when you thought Timberland or you thought Diddy, you thought Pit Boss, right? And so I just happened to, you know, come to the studio. They actually picked him to do we did like 17 songs on Tupac, right? And this was after Pac, this is after Pac had died, you know what I mean? And so they were trying to figure out how to get a record out there that was different, but still Pac-esque, you know what I mean? And so I just happened to be in the studio, and I, you know, I got a musical ear, and I was beating on some drums, you know what I mean? Some drum machines and whatnot. So I had an ear for something. So as you know, Pitt's producing the Thug's Mansion record, it was originally just all music. It was music, whatever. And we had a Fish come in and play the guitar, because Fish played with Prince, right? So we had him come in and play the guitar, and I was like, yo, drop everything out, drop all the, you know, just drop all the music out and let the guitar and Pac's vocals ride. And when that happened, it was, everybody looked at everybody and was just like, yo, okay, this is it. And then, you know, before you know it, the executive producer was like, we need to do a whole acoustic album on Tupac. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah. So when that record hit, and then they went and got Nas, and you know, and before you know it, the funny thing is we thought we didn't make the album because we did 17 songs on Pac, but you know, they told us none of the records made it, but that happened to be the one record that made it, and it was the single, and it was something revolutionary because it also got, you know, accolades in different award shows.
All over the place, man, all over the place. You know, when we told us about you being a Christian rapper, and obviously you're still faith-based, it seemed like God has brought your journey, you know, through creativity, taking to the levels of that. I guess even you were kind of like, wow, thank you, Lord. That's an amazing testimony, brother. That's an amazing testimony.
Was 20 years ago, right? So think about that. Tupac record was literally 20, maybe 19 to 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I don't smoke, I don't drink, I'm not an advocate for it, or I don't advocate, you know, for it. And at the end of the day, I've flown under the radar because I stayed diligent and true to my purpose. You know what I mean? And so you're right when you say, you know, look at what God has done. Look at what God has done. Gave me all the knowledge that I needed to come into the faith-based space, hip hop space, and get that back to my brothers and sisters.
Tell me, you know, as a producer, you've created so many things. What kind of mindset do you have working with other artists and other talents? Because it really takes a lot to pull that out of, you know, because artists don't want to feel like they're changing, but as a producer, you have to kind of guide them and direct them in terms of what you see or hear versus what they do. How do you do that?
I think at the end of the day, what it's about is giving the artist the energy they want, and then you give them the energy you hear. So, right, so you, in the Pac's case, there was already an energy that the executive producer, you know, wanted, right? They got that, but then when they heard the creativity, it was like, let's go with that. So, you know, artists like to be heard. So if you let them be heard and let them do what they do, and then you come in and say, hey, well, what about this? Then they're more receptive to change. It's when they're not receptive to change if you come in and say, nah, we're not doing what you do.
Wow, that, you know what, that, and at the end of the day, you're correct, because like I said, that energy is so important. Now you've been able to, you know, transition into like soundtracks, and I want to highlight two of them that I know that I've watched, of the movie Crash, which is an incredible movie, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith, starring, you know, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie. Tell us about that.
So with Crash, the unique thing about that is me and Pitt, we had came out as an R&B hip hop group, right? So we were R. Kelly, Jay-Z before R. Kelly, Jay-Z. You know what I mean? It's just that when they came out, it would have been like we were copycatting. Yeah. So what we ultimately ended up doing, saying, okay, well, let's do something completely different. So we coined the term urban rock. So we became an urban rock group, right? And it just so happens that we teamed up with Shiro Gutsi from it was a record company called Superb, and they were doing soundtracks. And so Crash had already been shot, the movie been done, and they was just looking for songs for soundtrack, because they were having a hard time in clearances. So we was like, we'll do it. We'll do the record. He was like, and Shiro was like, let's put you guys on this album. So we did the record, after we watched the movie, it hadn't come out, and then we did the record. And then we liked the record so much, we shot the music video on our own. Wow. And then what happened is Paul Haggis then added the music video to the special features of the DVD, and we didn't know it was going to win the Oscar. You know what I mean? So, and so we ultimately, we were an independent band that landed on the Oscar award-winning film, and now I'm Oscar associated, right? And so at the end of the day, that's a beauty about that's a blessing. That is a blessing. And then Mr. and Mrs. Smith, same type of situation. We didn't get on the American version, we got on the international version, right? But because it's different, they have different soundtracks, one for America, one for different music. Okay. But the international version blew up to where they included us in on the DVD CD combo, in regards to the distribution of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So that was a beauty. The other notables is Haven with Orlando Bloom and Zoe Saldana. We did Kicking It Old School with Jamie Kennedy. And we did Once in a Lifetime, the Pele movie that ESPN put out. And I just recently did The Answer.
You know what? You stay so busy, and I gotta hand it to you, man. It's so diverse. I'm like, how do you keep up with your schedule? Listen, we're getting ready to go to break, but when we come back, I want to talk about, not something dear to my heart when it comes to cartoons and voiceovers, and so you're the voice of the Jammies. We want to talk about that, and then let's talk about where are you going next, because with your kind of schedule and your kind of creativity, I know there's some great things coming. So, ladies and gents, don't go nowhere. We'll be right back with my man, Emcee N.I.C.E. We'll be back.
Are you behind on your mortgage? Is the bank threatening to take your home? Is your house underwater because you owe more than it's worth? Are you considering trying to get a loan modification on your own? Did you know that less than 5% of people who tried on their own actually got a modification? At the Mortgage Modification Helpline, we know the rules and regulations banks don't want you to know about, and we've helped thousands of people stay in their homes. Are you struggling to keep up? Are you past due on your mortgage? If so, we can help. It doesn't matter if you have bad credit, been turned down, or if you're currently getting the runaround from your lender. The call and consultation is free, and it only takes a few minutes to find out if we can help. So call the Mortgage Modification Helpline today, and let's get your loan modified into one you can afford.
Please call 800-650-2047. That is 800-650-2047.
And we're back. That's right. He's still here, Emcee N.I.C.E. So my brother, I saw, and it was funny, I saw a clip called The Jammies. And there was like a rap battle going on, in the circle. It had a little cipher, Tell us about how you got involved with that, and what is your thoughts when it comes to putting your vocals on a cartoon character?
Well, real quick, I'm one of the creators actually of the actual cartoon itself. So that, and then in that particular scene you've seen, was Devo. He was the other rapper, Friday from Friday. So he was
Tiny Lister. Oh,
Tiny Lister. So right.
Right,
my uncle was the first Black animator ever at Disney. So I just want to put that out there. His name is Ron Husband. And so, it was in my blood. So me and another guy, we created the Jammies, and that was based on what we were seeing on television, where kids was just getting wizardry and magic, but not enough substance. And as I was growing up, we had substance-based cartoons where, whether it was the electric company to Conjunction, you know, that Conjunction function, right? And then Fat Albert and Green Hornet. Like, we had some real like dope cartoons. The kids today didn't have that. So we created one where we took 5 kids from the suburbs who sing, dance, and rap, and their whole aspirations was to be the next hip hop stars. But while dealing with everyday life as kids, whether it's obesity, whether it's bullying, whether it's, you know, self-awareness. So we took those things and put them into a cartoon, and that was music-based, because we know that that's what attracts the ear. So music and colors attracted the ear, and that's what led to that.
How do you, you know, to definitely the idea, the thought, and I love the fact that you talked about substance-based, because we don't have enough of that still, especially for urban children, you know, kids that look like me and you. How do you take that idea off the drawing board and make it to real life? You know, what kind of things did you have to go through to get that to fruition?
So I'll just give you a business analysis real quick. So it's called SWOT analytics, right? SWOT, SWOT, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, SWOT. Yeah. So what I did was took it out of the business context and put it in whatever context I'm using. So in this case, it was animation, finding out the strengths, finding out the weakness of the industries, the opportunities that I can take advantage of, and the threats that are there. And me and my partner at the time, that's what we did, is we honed in on that, found the who's who and the what's what, crossed the T's and dotted the I's, and got it done.
You know, so an audience, now you heard it, SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities,
and threats.
That is an important key. And so I guess you're saying you utilize that in just life in general.
Exactly. Wow. Because when you, for instance, as an individual, SWOT yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are the opportunities that you can take advantage of? And what are the threats that's beholden to you? It's because if you can understand you, you can apply you, right? So that's the same thing when it comes to anything you get in. When you understand what it is you're getting into, you can apply different things because you done already researched and got a sense of understanding of how to be successful.
Man, that's deep. That's deep. And, you know, and I think that more people kind of utilize that simple, you know, analogy, SWOT, you know, they might be better off now. I also read and saw, you know, you and Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban he's a fan of mine because I love, you know, Shark Tank and, you know, and what he's done with his basketball team. How did you collaborate with Mark Cuban? Because that's,
okay, man, it was a cold email. You know, they're saying closed mouth don't get fed. I reached out. I was like, yo, you got the NBA All-Stars coming to Dallas. You know what I mean? We got the theme song the theme for the NBA was Where Amazing Happens. So we said, hey, let's create a song called Where Amazing Happens, and say, hey, to the NBA, you don't even have to pay us. We just want you to use our record. So I sent it to Mark Cuban, right? And Mark Cuban was like, let's make it happen.
Wow.
You see, that's the one thing I love about him, is that wasn't no sugarcoat, wasn't no go through all these hoops. It was like, let's make it happen. And it happened, went to Dallas. And before you know it, it was on TNT at the you know what I'm saying? So it was like, sometimes you don't have to get paid for everything.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You just have to take advantages of the right things.
You know, you're dropping some real good gems. You know, I'm definitely keeping note. Now it's the SWOT, you know, closed mouth don't get fed, and sometimes you don't get paid, but take the advantage, use the opportunity, because it's going to take it to the next level. So what are you getting ready to get into now? Because there's so many things. What's next for Emcee N.I.C.E?
Well, I am the curator of the largest Christian hip hop radio station in the world, called God's House of Hip Hop. We were the first Christian hip hop station to win a Stellar Award in the Stellar Awards history. I'm also the executive producer of a music festival here in Los Angeles called God's House of Hip Hop 2020 Summer Fest, where we rented a stadium, and we're going to hold the largest faith-based hip hop music festival in the world next September 2022. And so other than that, I got a new album that's going to drop in January. I'm excited about that. This is my retirement run, where I'm going to do 3 albums, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and that'll be it. And then I'm gonna retire to the music industry as an executive and help others get, win.
What type of music will your albums be covering? Will it be hip hop,
straight Christian hip hop? Well, it's going to be all genres. So like the first album, Act 1 is called The Blessed Coast. That's where Rock the Body come from, right? So Act 1 is The Blessed Coast. Well, it's called Iron Dove, Act 1, The Blessed Coast. And then the other one is Iron Dove, Act 2, 1919, based on the book of Revelations, 1919, when they go to war. It's like me going to war, you know, with the culture, like, you know, let's get the frauds out and let's really be about God, kingdom business. And then Act 3 is like, okay, now that we done all fought, it's called Kumbaya. So Act 3 is Kumbaya. We get together. It's a big celebration. And then I drop the mic like Kobe, you know, and hopefully, you know, that's a 61, you know what I mean? And then I'm in the music business as an executive, helping others get on.
So you know, I love your flow. I love what you're talking about. I love your positive flow. How can people contact you, or how, if people want to work with you, what can they do?
Emcee N.I.C.E LA. That's Emcee LA on Twitter and Instagram, and Emcee N.I.C.E Music or emceenice.com.
You know what? I thank you so much for being our guest. You've shared so much. You dropped some real gems. I hope my audience is listening. I hope you wrote it down. Please, you know, check him out. The man is Emcee N.I.C.E. I thank you for watching. We are out of here. Talk to you later.
You gotta have F-F-A-S-A-I-T-H. You gotta have that.